I know the play here at the Greenwich House is sold out, New York City street show, but that doesn't mean it's going to make money. How do you finance your shows? How did you get your first money to start?
Well, in 71, the first year that I did street theater, first of all, there's no money in street theater, which is not only performed on the streets, but in the parks and in other places and festivals, but you don't have an audience who's paying, so we have to rely upon funding from government agencies, either the city, state, or federal government. And in the first year, I was working for another company, right? And I was told that they didn't have money to pay me.
Yes.
So I happened to know someone at Cultural Affairs where they were getting their money, and they were getting large sums of money, and he said they're using your name to get funds. In other words, they're saying we found this person and we taught him to write and we're doing all this stuff, and they were getting funds, and he said, if you start your own company, a non-profit organization, we will give you funds. So I did that in 72, and the city gave me like $8,000 to do a production. And ever since then, that was when the city had money.
That's right, yes.
They don't anymore. They don't give you anything anymore. And but that was my entree to going to the state and to the National Endowment. And actually, the person at the National Endowment was the person who was at Cultural Affairs. So it's nice to meet people and make friends because they appreciate your work and appreciate you, and then you get some funds.
Particularly people with money.
Well, or people in the position to get you money, even if it's not people with money.
Right.
Right. And I think now we pretty much have to rely on individuals, and sometimes hopefully business gets more involved in giving funds to projects like this.
Yes, they're beginning to do that. They're moving in that direction somewhat, not yet.
Right. Well, I think that one of my reasons for coming indoors is also you have a box office, and after 6 years I have to start thinking about money and not having to go begging and pleading to funding organizations and councils and waiting long periods of time for money that doesn't come in until after the project's over, and it's nerve-wracking, and suddenly I'm part of the bureaucracy. You know, so I would like some independence, and I think being indoors and in the theater and setting up a box office and doing that is so that I can become independent. Basically, the reason I use that so much is that I think there's one thing that we all have in common, and that's that source of energy that keeps our hearts beating, you know, and to me that represents God, or whatever that mystery or mysterious power is that we all have, and that's one of the things we have in common. And I think that's a unifying thing, and it may in fact be one of the reasons why we have so many organized religions and why they were developed, is to bring people together.
Which is obviously the absolute antithesis to prejudice.
It's one of the things which divides us. And one of the things which unifies us is the things that we have in common.